I'm Himanshi. I'm from the North Kevin University and I'm the team leader for the team AI analyst. And before starting off, firstly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much, Anon. Thank you, Aati ma'am, Shami ma'am, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to not only lead this wonderful team, but also, gather our ideas and also learn from them, grow through this journey. So our chosen topic is, will AI replace therapists? So this is a question which sits at the intersection of technology, ethics, and humanity. And through our survey and research, we are trying to capture a public perspective on whether artificial intelligence can truly take on the role of therapists or whether human connection will always remain essential. So today we will be walking you through the themes that we explored using was our topic, that is, can AI replace therapists? So the responses that we received through our survey and the insights we gathered while working on this project, we are going to be walking through those themes. And we hope that this presentation sparks new thoughts and discussion just like it did for us while preparing it and the video. Firstly, I'd like to introduce you all to my team. Agastya Agarwal from Amity University, Noida. Yashika Bindal from the Delhi College of Pharmacy, and Disha Chawla from Maharaja Agrasen Public School. I'd like to pass on the mic to Agastya to continue this presentation further.
Hi everyone, I'm Agastya. In starting off our presentation, let's look at why this question really matters and why it matters right now. First, the demand for mental health support is rising rapidly. A lot of people either can't afford therapy or don't have access to it. So the access remains uneven. At the same time, AI tools are entering everyday care. From chatbots to wellness apps, they're making basic mental health support more accessible to people who otherwise might not get any. But here's the challenge: emotional nuance versus technological skill. Emotional healing, Emotional healing needs human empathy and understanding. While AI offers efficiency and reach, the real question is, can these two coexist to make a better mental health support?
Now, let's discuss what we set out to learn in our project. First, we wanted to understand what people believe about AI's ability to recognize and respond to human emotions. Second, we explored whether people are comfortable trusting AI platforms, especially when there are sensitive issues. Third, we examined how affordability and accessibility shape people's choices between AI and human therapists. And lastly, we aim to discover if people actually see AI as a replacement for therapists or just rather a supportive partner in the future of mental health care.
To conduct our research, we used the survey method. We prepared an online questionnaire that included both Likert scale questions and real life situations to test people's preferences. And to make sure our data remained reliable and unbiased, we followed ethical practices by keeping all responses completely anonymous. We received a total of 502 responses. If you look at the gender distribution, around 56% were female, about 40% male, and a small percentage preferred not to say. Coming to age groups, most of our respondents were between 18 to 25 years old, followed by those under 18. We also had a small number from the 26 to 30 age group and a very few above 30.
Until now, we have given you a glimpse of our research, but now let's look at it in a more structured way. When we analyzed our survey, 5 major themes stood out. The first one was emotional understanding and empathy. AI may process emotion, but can it really feel empathy? Secondly, collaboration, not replacement. Will AI replace therapists or just simply act as a supportive tool? Thirdly, trust and privacy. How much will people trust an AI system with their deepest feelings? Fourth, accessibility and affordability. Can AI make therapy more affordable and accessible for everyone? And finally, advanced capabilities, which is detecting subtle behavior changes or defense mechanism. Can AI really go that far? Through these 5 themes, We try to capture the challenges, the opportunities, and possible solutions for the future of therapy.
अरे आशिका, तूने वो केस सुना? एक लड़का था जो रोज अपनी डिप्रेशन की बातें चैट जीपीटी को बताता था और उसने हेल्प करने की जगह सुसाइड के तरीके बता दिए। वो बेचारा अटेम्प्ट कर बैठा यार।
हाँ, मैंने भी सुना था। कितना सैड है ना। मतलब एक इंसान हेल्प ढूंढने निकला है और उसके बजाय उसको एक बस रोबोटिक और कोल्ड रिस्पॉन्सेस मिल रहे हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ एक्चुअल केयर व्हाट ही वांटेड।
एग्जैक्टली यार, इसी वजह से हमारी पहली थीम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इमोशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग वर्सेस एम्पैथी। देखो, एआई जितना एडवांस हो जाए वो सिर्फ एनालाइज कर सकता है, जैसे तुम्हारी वॉइस, वर्ड्स या एक्सप्रेशंस ट्रैक कर सकता है, लेकिन वो तुम्हारा इमोशन फील नहीं कर सकता। एम्पैथी का मतलब है वो वार्मथ, वो साइलेंस, एक वो ह्यूमन कनेक्शन जो सिर्फ एक इंसान ही दे सकता है।
बिल्कुल। और हम क्यों सोशल बीइंग्स ही तो है। हम सिर्फ रिकॉग्नाइजेशन थोड़ी ना चाहते हैं। हमें ये भी तो सुनना होता है दैट हम मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूँ, मैं तुम्हारी इस बातें सुन रहा हूँ, तुम अकेले नहीं हो। ये डिफरेंस ही तो एआई और ह्यूमंस के बीच में एक्चुअल लाइन लाता है।
एग्जैक्टली आशिका, इसीलिए जब हमने अपना सर्वे डिजाइन किया तो हमने जानना चाहा कि लोग इस गैप को देखते कैसे हैं। क्या एआई कभी एम्पैथी को रिप्लेस कर पाएगा या फिर वो एक सपोर्टिव टूल ही रह जाएगा? चलो अब देखते हैं हमारे सर्वे ने रिवील क्या किया।
To understand how people felt about this, we asked some very specific questions in our survey. Firstly, we asked, do you think AI platforms will be able to differentiate and understand human emotions eventually? Here, 32.5% people agree. And so people are hopeful but also cautious. Nextly, we asked, despite all advances, can AI ever replace empathy in therapy? And here, the majority was clear. 34.9% people agreed, and 33.7% people strongly agreed that empathy and human connection are irreplaceable in therapy. And finally, we asked a situational question that if you are grieving the loss of a loved one, would you rather prefer an AI giving calming exercises or a therapist who is silently listening and empathizing with you? The responses were powerful. 48.6% people said that they would rather choose a human therapist, and another 30.7% people said that they would prefer a combination AI for coping strategies and a therapist for empathy. So, what does this tell us? People may accept AI as a supportive tool, but when it comes to raw emotion, they still want a human presence in their life.
Agastya, what happened? You look so tired.
Yeah, Disha, I had 3 therapy sessions today back to back. Plus, I still have reports to write. It's exhausting.
That's exactly where AI could help, right? Like imagine if a AI tool tracked your patient's sleep, mood, and behavior patterns daily. You wouldn't need to spend hours just collecting data. You could focus only on the real emotional conversations.
Hmm, true, yeah. And maybe the AI could guide them through breathing exercises in between the sessions so that they don't have to wait until the next session to feel better.
Exactly. So the idea isn't to replace you as a therapist, but to support you, making therapy more efficient and more human at the same time.
Our survey responses really highlight this idea of collaboration. Almost half of the people agreed the can assist therapists but not replace them. When we asked about emotional healing, more than half said a human therapist is always necessary. And in trauma-based scenario, nearly 48% choose therapy over AI because they wanted lifelong healing, not just a quick coping strategies. This shows people see AI as a support system, but therapist remains the core of the recovery.
Another question gave us a scenario of carrying an embarrassing memory. Here, 46.6% people prefer to go to a therapist, but 23% said that they would turn to a close family or friend, showing that stigma and trust issues still weigh heavily on people. And finally, when asked if people might trust AI therapists as much as humans in the future, 36% people were neutral, 24% agreed, and 20.3% people disagreed. I mean, look at the dynamics, right? These results highlight that trust and privacy are not just side concerns in this particular matter, but but the very center of whether AI can ever be a reliable tool in mental health support settings or not.
A young student says, I really want therapy, but one session costs more than I can afford every week. AI responds, for every 2000 a month, I can guide you with coping strategies every day. The student smiles with relief, but then adds, still, when it comes to talking about my deepest fear, I need a human who understands. This balance between affordability of AI and depth of human therapy is exactly what our survey responses reveal. Now let's talk about one of the strongest points in favor of AI therapy: accessibility and affordability. We asked people if AI tools would make therapy more accessible to those who currently can't afford professional help. 43.6% agreed, 25.3% were neutral, 22.1% strongly agreed. This clearly shows that AI has a real chance of entering the mental health space because of its affordability. Then we asked participants to compare costs. An AI service at 2000 per month versus a human therapist at rupees 2000 per session. 27.3% chose the human therapist outright. 30.5% wanted the human therapist but were also curious to try AI. And 27.5% said that they would combine both, using AI occasionally while still meeting a human therapist. This balance tells us that cost is important, but so is the quality of connection. Finally, when asked whether the world would accept AI based therapy given the stigma around mental health, a big 32.3% believe people would oppose it completely, but only 2.9% said yes. AI could be a good alternative for those who hesitate to publicly share their struggles. So, while acceptance may take time, affordability makes AI a very attractive option.
As we come to our last theme, advanced capabilities, we asked whether AI, despite technological advancements, can replace empathy and human connections, which are essential in therapies like CBT and REBT. 34.9% agreed, while 33.7% strongly agreed. So, by concluding this, we can say that as AI gets smarter, people still believe human empathy remains essential to the healing. Then we explored AI's potential. With enough data, could it track subtle changes in behavior? And that might be single underlying psychological issue. 40.4% said yes, while 27.5% people stayed neutral. This shows cautious optimism. People see promise, but they aren't fully convinced yet. And finally, we asked about something even deeper: ego defense mechanism like denial, projection, and repression. 34.5% agreed AI could detect them in future, but 34.1% stayed neutral to this topic. This reflects that people imagine AI might analyze pattern well, but true interpretation is still seen as a human strength.
So, as we come to the end of this research, one thing becomes clear: the future of mental health care will not be about choosing between humans and AI, but about finding the right balance between the two. Across our five themes, the survey responses reveal something very telling. People appreciate the efficiency, affordability, and advanced tracking abilities of AI, but they're also not ready to give up on the empathy, trust, and human connection that only therapists can provide. Whether it is about emotional understanding, collaboration, privacy, accessibility, or advanced capabilities, every result showed a similar pattern: curiosity and openness towards AI, but a strong insistence that human therapists remain irreplaceable.
Wow, Disha, this duality is powerful. It shows that while AI can scale support, provide instant relief, and help us in bridging accessibility gaps, human will always be the heart of true healing, guiding, validating, and empathizing in ways that machines just simply cannot. So, the real takeaway is this: the future of therapy is not human versus AI, but humans and AI together. One brings compassion, the other brings capability. So, when both evolve side by side, mental health care becomes not just more advanced, but also more humane. And with this, we come to the end of our presentation. Thank you for being patient with us and giving us the opportunity to conduct this study. It was a wonderful experience, something that as a psychology student myself and my team will cherish forever. Thank you.